Hey guys, my name is Yvette and welcome to my DIY channel, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. So for today's video, I wanted to share with you guys how I made some decorative plant trellises. And I say decorative because I only used a 12 gauge wire to make these, which means that they're a little bit more on like the flimsier side. So like if you were to stick these in like a string of hearts, string of pearls, any like lighter plant, it would do just fine. But if you wanted to stick these into like a heftier plant, they would just be for decorative purposes, or I would say use a thicker wire. But yeah, let's just get started. Okay guys, so for our first project, we're gonna make a boob plant trellis, and I see these on Pinterest all the time and I think they're so cute, and so I wanted to try to make one. I started out by sketching how I wanted my plant trellis to look, and then this is also going to be a guide for me to follow. Now that this is done, we're ready to start. So I'm just going to take my wire, and I'm using a 12 gauge rose gold wire, and I'm only using my hands to bend it into shape. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like kind of hard for me to explain. You guys can just like see what I'm doing better. Right here, I'm using a wire cutter to trim out my plant trellis. And then lastly, I'm just pressing my hands up against the trellis to make sure that everything is nice and flat. And yeah, we're pretty much done, and then you can just stick this into whatever plant you want to put it in. Okay guys, so for our second project, I'm gonna add a suncatcher to this little cactus. She's cute, but she's just a little boring, so I wanted to spruce her up a little bit. I'm gonna use a glass to help me out with this, and a ruler, and then I'm also gonna be using a 12 gauge champagne gold wire for this. Alright, so I'm just gonna try to make a very simple arch shape. Once again, I'm using a wire cutter to trim out my shape. And then right here, I'm trying to make both ends the same length. And then I'm going to be using this suncatcher that I got from Amazon. I'll link it in the description box if you guys want to use the same one. And it has this little like jump ring at the top, and it fits perfectly in the wire, so I'm just going to slide that in. I'm I'm using some jewelry nose pliers to like squish the jump ring as much as I can against the wire so that it doesn't move around. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All we have to do now is add this to our little plant and we're done. Okay, so for our last project, we're going to make another plant trellis, and this time I wanted to make a monstera leaf plant trellis. So I started out by sketching a really easy monstera leaf outline, and this is once again going to be used as a guide to help me make my plant trellis. For this, I'm once again using my 12 gauge champagne gold wire, and then yeah, you guys can kind of like just see what I'm doing. Okay, so I wanted to add a total of 3 leaves to this trellis, and so here I'm just leaving about like 4 inches, and then I'm going to start on my second leaf. I'm starting on my third leaf, and once again I left about 4 inches on the wire, and then I started my new leaf. One thing I will say about adding these 3 leaves is that maybe I made mine like a little bit too big because my trellis did get kind of like top heavy, so I would recommend making your leaves a little bit smaller than mine, or I would say to just make like 2 leaves instead of 3 or use thicker wire. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and subscribe for more DIYs, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!